Oh dear lord, what a mess this one turned out to be. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles was a multiplayer-focused Final Fantasy adventure, originally released in GameCube all the way back in 2003. Back then nobody I knew had this game, because Final Fantasy was for nerds and I was a nerd, and that is honestly how the story goes. However, nowadays, I have a few more friends willing to play a Final Fantasy game with me, so naturally a re-release of this game with confirmed online play was super exciting. Now the question that was on everyone's mind when this remaster was first revealed was, how is it all going to work? In the original, they did this thing where every player had their own screen. They'd be able to navigate through menus, but it also gave everyone their own little personal experience. You had your own inventory, your own little story. You'd be able to send letters to your in-game family and they'd send things back. It was a nice little thing. However, in order for them to accomplish this, for the multiplayer you needed a ton of hardware, link cables and Game Boy Advance systems for every player, and it was just a lot of work to set it up. It's very rare for people to have played the multiplayer, and to me this remaster was a way for them to set this right. Finally, people are about to experience Crystal Chronicles as it was meant to be, a full multiplayer experience with none of this. Hey man, you ready to play this Crystal Chronicles game? Sure man, I even brought my controller. What the heck is a controller? Except now it's a little bit more like this. Hey man, you ready to play this Crystal Chronicles game? Sure man, I brought my controller. Again. Oh, that's great. Where's your PS4? That's right, there's no local play, so the only thing you can do now is play online. Now, they were nice enough to let you play through all the dungeons with your friends in just the light version, the demo version, so only the host needs to own the full game in order for everyone to experience the game together. However, you can only play through the dungeons together. You don't make decisions on the map, you don't try and figure out where to go next. It's just a single player experience with tactile multiplayer at best now. Seriously, at the end of a dungeon you get a letter and your co-op friends are just sitting there waiting for you to progress the story. It would be hilarious if it didn't annoy me so much.
Kapow.
The Murgles in this game are super cute.
They are.
They're so
I
fluffy.
have a letter today, Kupo.
So I don't have it. Oh, I don't get letters.
Yeah, that's really sad.
So the game is pretty much an online-only experience, but if you thought that would mean you get to play with your American friends as the European, you are out of luck. The game is region-locked in its online functionality, meaning you only get to play with friends on the same continent. And if you're Australian, that means you're stuck with Europeans. You can't play with the closer region of Japan. Trust me, we tried. It's impossible. The other limitations on the online play are very troubling as well. Only the host makes any story progress, and to swap hosts or even play a different dungeon, you have to remake the entire lobby. Every single time. In the end, I'm just not too sure what the purpose of this remaster was, or even what's remastered about it. They added voice acting, a few post-game dungeons, but I think they took away too much of what made the original game special in order to bring this remaster to life. The game just feels like a mess, and it makes me sad. Or maybe it was all just an excuse to sell overpriced costume DLCs. I don't know. You may have noticed that I haven't talked about graphics or gameplay or the music, but that's because most of it is the same. The background music was remastered for this, although I haven't noticed too many differences, but maybe that's because it's been a very long time since I've played the original Crystal Chronicles game on GameCube, because again, I can't get a group together for it. In the end, I still hope this game does well enough for Square to consider bringing over the DS games, and those will likely work much better as they weren't designed in a weird way like the original, and I did love Echoes of Time back in the day. Please Square, I will give you my money. Just give me the game.